What up, YouTube? This video was taken on this Saturday afternoon, January 14th, 2023. Time right now is 7:30 p.m. And I wanted to do a flap and flew video since I flew somewhere semi interesting. I'm stuttering and not off to a good start, huh? I flew somewhat I flew somewhere somewhat interesting today, and I thought it'd be worth a post. Um, so we're 2 weeks down into the new year, and everything I said on my last video that I was going to try for the new year has failed. I'm But I definitely have cut down drinking soda. Um, let's see, I only drank 3 sodas this week. Hold on, one, two. No, I lied. Four. I drank 4 sodas this week, so I am getting better. But next week's a new week. I am gonna try to totally cut out soda. But I don't know. I just kind of crave the taste, and I've only been drinking water and unsweet tea that I make. And when I go out to Taco Bell or Culver's, I get their unsweet tea too, which tastes fine. And I think I'm going to try to go down to 2 meals a day and no snacking and doing the intermediate fasting period. And I think what I'm going to try to do is next time I get hungry, I'm going to purposely drink unsweet tea to see if it like suppresses my appetite. But yeah, I went to a Brando today that I figured I had to go today because they're starting to really build it up, and it was a bit of a humbling experience. I've been flying at the cemetery down the street or at um, the travel center down the road, and I can fly there. I can fly as many packs as I want, and practice trippy spinning and matting the tree limbs and stuff, and I don't break anything. And then when I went to that Brando, I brought 3 quads with me, and I came back with zero of them working. So the first quad I was flying was my Questor frame because I got it tuned. I went through. I spent some time. I tuned it, and I got it tuned, and I don't know if it's a placebo effect because I have a lot of energy invested in this quad since I designed the frame and whatnot. But it's the best flying quad I ever flew. It's really locked in, and it just flies really well. So now I'm into the durability testing phase of it. So that's why I wanted to bring it to that Brando to test the durability. But and so far the durability is excellent. I haven't broken anything on it, but I do feel that I am still babying the quad because I was flying it. I was trying to get warmed up, and like I said, it was a bit humbling because things I wanted to do in my mind when I actually went to do it at that Brando, I realized that they were a lot harder to do. But I kind of wish that I could have done more today there. But I did surprise myself and do a couple of dive gaps that, um, I was kind of impressive for my flying skill. But what brought down the what brought down the Questor frame was I crashed in dirt, and I decided to um, try to turtle mode out of it because, like I said, I kind of want to bash this quad to see what it does, to see if I break anything. And I flipped it over, but I couldn't take off. And when I walked over to retrieve it, the front 2 motors had these really tiny steel BBs. I don't know what it's from. It looks like not. It looks like really fine, like lead shot. So I don't know if it's from some welding thing from the construction site, but it seized up the front 2 motors. So I got to go and try to clean them out. And so then I switched to my GRL frame. And like I said, even though I'm trying to bash the Questor, I realized that I was really babying it because when I switched to the GRL frame, even though I don't think it flies as good as my Questar frame, I was I did feel like I was flying a lot better. And that was the first time I flew my GRL frame since I've been flying the Questor frame. But I don't think I was flying better because it actually flies better. I think it was flying better because I literally didn't really care too much about it. The problem with the Questor frame is I break it right now. I can't just cut another carbon fiber like arm or a bottom plate for it. I would have to reset up the whole CNC machine because when I was making my Christmas gifts, I realized the CNC machine isn't really set up to that true as far as at right angles and what have you. So I need to do that. I need to true it up. And like right now, the spindle is kind of cocked because when I was cutting that wood, I guess it was vibrating it real hard and it loosened up the spindle. So I need to go through all that. So I kind of don't want to go through all that. But if I would force myself in the corner if I broke something on the Questar frame. The good news, though, is that the Questar frame isn't it isn't totally super fragile. I've had more fragile frames in the past, definitely, because even though I haven't had some really hard hits yet, I've had some hard enough hits that I realize I'm not super fragile. So I'm waiting. I am waiting for that one really hard slam where when I walk to retrieve it, to see if it's really durable or not, as durable as a GRL frame. But I'm glad about its durability so far. Like I said, at first with those 3mm arms, I thought the arms would be too thin, but they seem to be fine. I am having problems with. I had the two front arms loosen up a bit, so I had to tighten them up. And I don't know if I think the play is coming from the 3D printed skid plates I have on that. But we'll see how long it lasts. Since I tightened them up, they've been fine. And then I had a couple of top plate screws loosen up on me. But I don't know if that's from I didn't torque them down enough, or if it's if I didn't torque it down enough, or if there's some weird vibration happening. But I don't think there's any weird vibrations happening because I did tune the video to Chris Rosser's tuning guide, and I'm not 100% convinced that everything that he says that matters actually matter. With those guys, sometimes I feel that they make, since they're trying to sell their services, in the end, Chris Rosser makes money if you buy his frame or if you buy any of his services. So sometimes I feel like he makes himself seem more important and know more about things and thinks and make it seems like more things are more involved than they really are, just so you buy his services. Because when I was following the tuning video, it makes everything he explains on the sliders, it makes sense. But in execution, when you're moving the sliders and stuff, you don't see that big of a difference. But what I was getting at was when it came to filter tuning, when I did the black box log, the Questar frame has no resonance at all. Where he says the resonance line would be, it didn't have any resonance at all. So I actually set my filters up exactly how he has his filters set up for his AOS frame. And another thing is the motors are running super cool, which I always seem to have hot motors, so the motors are running super cool. And I set up my BL Heli settings up based off of what I was flying with the Questar frame. What I was flying with the GRL frame. Now, I started having a problem with the Questar frame twice. When I had hard impacts, I would have a motor die on me. But motor wouldn't spin at all. And I would have to power cycle the quad and the motor would spin. And it happened on two separate motors, so I knew it was some kind of ESC firmware. So what I did was I looked at the BL Heli settings, and I was trying to figure out what would do that. I read online that mag compensation, mag comp will do that if it's low, and I had it set for low on low for some reason. I don't know if that's a default setting or if I set that based on my GRL settings, but I set that to high, and I it has the problem hasn't come back yet. So that's the only weird thing that was happening with the Questor frame, was having hard impacts and then a motor just not spinning. And I flew those quad blades a lot, and I really liked them. And so far, I think I'm going to go for quad blades. But when I was at that Brando, I did finally damage the blade beyond flyability. So I switched to these other gem fans that I ordered, and the little I flew in the other gem fans, they flew just as good as the quad blades. So I'm going to have to make a decision on what I'm going to do about that. Other than that, let's see what else is going on with my life. Other than that, I'm trying to be productive with my projects, which I definitely seem to be off to a good start with that. But I did start college classes again this week, which I'm totally fed up with college. The only reason I'm doing it is because my employer reimbursed me, so it doesn't cost any money. So, there's a term that I heard in the union about leaving money on the table, and that's basically when your employer offers you benefits that you don't take advantage of. For example, like we have 401k match, so if you refuse to start a 401k, you're leaving money on the table because you'll never get that match. And same thing with, that's my attitude about this education reimbursement, is if you don't actually do the education reimbursement, you're just kind of leaving money on the table. So that's why I've been doing college classes for computer science. But yeah, I'm totally fed up. Although, and I thought I was going to really like this semester because I was taking Python, because I've been hearing about Python left and right for the past couple of years. And then, my first week of taking Python, it's like a really simple language. I was actually surprised that so many people use Python, because I thought it was really powerful because I know I've seen a lot of cool things done with Python, but it's really just like a high level language, and I guess it just makes it easy to make a Windows program easier than using C++ or something. So yeah, I'm taking Python, and I'm taking this a networking class, which I hate taking these networking certification classes, but you got to do it. The good news is I see the light at the end of the tunnel. I have this semester, and next semester I should be done. That is, if I'm able. I got to take, not counting this semester, I would have to take 2 more classes and do my senior project, which I don't know what the senior project entails. I had to look into that. So, entailing that I can take 2 classes next semester and my senior project, I'll be done with my college degree in computer science. But I bring that up because those college classes do take up a lot of my time that prohibits me from doing any projects. I'm also trying to do, I told myself that this month I didn't want to buy anything. I didn't want to order anything at all. And I've been sticking to that. I did make 2 exceptions. I placed a really small order to get FPV in order to get tracer antennas for my Questor frame when I went to straight monopole antennas. And then I did, I do a lot of evangelical, I can never say that word right. Evangelicalism? Evangelize. Man. I usually like to pass out King James New Testaments when I evangelize, and I ran out. The last case I bought a case of 48 and it was 84 cents a Bible, and I was able to get, I had to buy 102 to get free shipping, and I got them for 99 cents a Bible, so it wasn't that bad. Speaking of forgetting words, one thing I've noticed is and this might sound crazy, but this is what I kind of believe. I kind of got I Thanksgiving week I got sick, but I didn't really get sick where it like took me down for the count. I just had a runny nose and I got really bad pink eye. I've never had pink eye before. Ever since then, I've been having memory issues. And I've been having memory issues of remembering words. And when I posted my Questor frame overview video, I was really, when I listened to it back, I felt like an idiot the way I was talking. I used a lot of bad, not. Now I feel like an idiot the way I'm talking now. I used a lot of words that I shouldn't have used. I almost said inappropriate words, and I use inappropriate words for the case that, I don't know, if you watch the video, maybe you agree, you can tell. It was really bad. When I was listening back to it, I was like, man, what am I saying? I sound like an idiot. Like, so I just said, now that I'm being subconscious about it, now I can't talk. Going back to that, this one YouTuber that I randomly subscribed to, he was making skateboarding videos. I watched a video on how he was talking about Google Analytics and how back in the 2016 era, the way the Google Analytics were, it promoted quantity over quality. And really, if you think about it, if you think about how like Shay Carl got popular, like even before 2016, it was all about quantity over quality, the way the algorithm was. And now he's saying that he's saying that it's quality over quantity now, the way the algorithm is. So when I watched that video, it really made me want to focus on that, doing more quality than quantity. So I am going to try, like I said, this year I'm going to specifically start aggressively filming any projects I do to make YouTube videos. I am going to try to put a more quality into the videos than they have been in the past. So like case in point with, for some reason for the Questor video and even my Merry Christmas video where I was sharing the gospel on the one wheel, the audio sounded bad even though I was using that Rode mic system that I paid $200 for. Now on the Questor video, I think it sounded bad because I had it cranked up all the way high on the gain because I thought I had to do that for the Insta360 camera. So hopefully when I crank the gain down, when I use it with my Sony Handycam, it'll sound better. But on this video, I'm doing something new. I'm using the voice recorder on my phone to record this since, for two reasons. I think the sound would be a little better. And the second reason is I usually record a video, but I hardly use the video at all because I'm overlaying my FPV footage on it. The funny part is when I went to use the voice recorder on my phone, Samsung Galaxy S21 Ultra, it didn't have a voice recorder app on it. So I went to the Play Store, searched voice recorder, and I went down the list and there was one labeled Samsung voice recorder. So I downloaded that one and I recorded it, and that's what I'm recording this on. I was thinking about getting one of those lapel voice recorders. I forget which one I think I was planning on getting the Zoom one, but that was pretty expensive for what it is. But they claim since I don't know if there's a market ploy, since it's 32-bit, you can normalize the audio a lot better without it sounding tinny. But we'll see how this works out. Like I said, I didn't buy that because I've been wanting to not buy anything. And another thing I didn't buy that I probably would have bought if I didn't have this thing going on this month where I'm not going to buy anything is I was going to buy a Pico W and use it for a project that I started. I never filmed. But there's a project I do want to get done because it'll lead into more things once I get it done. And I could build it with stuff I have on hand now because I have plenty of 18 mega microcontrollers laying around now, and I actually have a prototype done on a breadboard with the AT Mega 328P, I believe. Um, but when I was watching the Ben Heck video of him using a Pico W and using that color LCD screen, I thought that was a good development platform that I wanted to learn myself. So I might do that project and do that project with the Pico W and the color LCD screen and uh, finish that project. But then I figured I would do that and learn that because I figured that that platform, the Pico W, will be more useful in the future than um, using 18 mega 328Ps. And I'm kind of curious. I went through the GitHub, Ben Heck's GitHub last night to look into that project. I'm kind of curious. I can't wait to see the other videos of that project. He calls it the game. He calls it the Game Badge 3 because he was talking about how using the Pico W he doesn't have to buy a USB socket, which is one of the more expensive items to buy. But he's using a LiPo, so I'm kind of curious to see how he taps the voltage off the USB socket in order to charge the LiPo, so then he can use the LiPo to supply power to the Pico W. Although if I did the project, I have long time ago off of Amazon, I bought LiPo circuit boards. They're less than an inch big, and I would probably just slap one of those inside the project. And actually, there's these Raspberry Pi Zero shields that come with a joystick, 3 buttons, and that same color LCD that Ben Heck's using. Now, you can't get the Raspberry Pi Zero anymore. They're real expensive. But for $15, you can get that shield, and pretty much you can take off the header and solder right into it. So I figured I'd buy one of those shields for $15, buy a Pico W for $6, and then using the LiPo charger that I already have here and the stuff I already have here, I could build up this little handheld device that would do what I want to do. But I'm going to hold off to see more about what Ben Heck posts about the Pico W project, the Game Badge 3. And I didn't do any of that because I'm trying not to buy anything this month. But other than that, I really don't have too much going on. It's cold here. We had a cold front come through. When I woke up this morning, it was 59 degrees. And it was 59 degrees in the house. I haven't turned on my heat yet. It's 59 degrees now in the house, and I'm contemplating if I should turn the heat on or if I should try to stick it out. I think I might stick it out just to see how it goes. But yeah, we had a cold front go through. I let my yard get away from me, so I kind of told myself I wasn't going to touch the yard for the rest of the month, and then February I was going to get back on touching the yard, mowing the yard, and then usually around February I'm getting a lot of weeds, so I need to do like weed and feed, and I think I usually do that in February, and I gotta work on my sprinkler system, which I'm not looking forward to. I gotta rebuild the valves on my sprinkler system, buy valve repair kits and rebuild the valves, and then I gotta go and replace a whole bunch of heads. I noticed I had my sprinkler system down for a while. I fixed it, and I got the valves kind of working, but really I'm tired of messing with those valves, so I'm gonna put rebuild kits in them. And even though I was running my sprinkler system with the valves not working right, the heads, ever since it was down for a couple of months, I don't know if the heads got clogged up or what. I just don't get the heads. None of the sprinkler heads seem to work as good anymore. The big heads that rotate, they don't seem to work. So I'm gonna have to tackle that. But I told myself I was gonna wait till February for that. And then, like I said, I am trying to proactively work on projects. It's just The project I've been working on this week was tuning the Questor frame, so I didn't really want to post any videos of that. But I had to get my jet ski running. I had to get my dad's motorcycle running. Those are two projects. So have quite a bit to do, quite a bit to keep me busy. But other than that, nothing too much going on. Like I said, I just wanted to post a flap and flew video. Since I flew at that Brando today. And I'm probably, you see, the problem is I could hit up that Brando in the evenings if it didn't get so dark so quickly. It gets dark so quickly that when they're going to be working on it during the day, in the evenings, it'll be too dark to fly it. So that's kind of the disadvantage of the wintertime. Even though we have good weather to fly in the wintertime, we don't have the daylight to fly those areas after hours. But anyway, this video is probably long enough. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.